Matrix Unveiled, A Journey Through Forbidden Knowledge, Part 13. What if the simplest gestures, like the L.V.X for victory or peace, conceal deeper, more chilling meanings? Could these hand signs be coded signals, hidden in plain sight, that tie back to secret societies, occult rituals, and ancient systems of control? In this episode of Matrix Unveiled, we unravel the truth behind the L.V.X gesture and its links to the Illuminati's all-seeing eye. We'll explore how this symbol hides in corporate logos, celebrity performances, and even political speeches, shaping culture and subtly influencing millions. What is the connection between numerology, occult traditions, and this seemingly harmless gesture? And why do so many powerful figures continue to use it? Get ready to decode the hidden messages in everyday life. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to Positive Vortex for more eye-opening content that goes beyond the surface. V. Illuminati all-seeing eye symbolism, a gateway to the occult. The V gesture, often dismissed as a simple sign of victory or peace, has long-standing roots in occult practices and Illuminati symbolism. Far from its seemingly innocuous appearance, this hand sign carries a deeply encoded language of control, numerology, and esoteric beliefs. Its connection to the all-seeing eye, numerological systems, and hidden Kabbalistic codes make it a fundamental part of Illuminati communication. Celebrities, politicians, and global corporations are all complicit in using this symbolism to broadcast their allegiance to the elite systems of power, whether openly or covertly. The V gesture, when combined with the all-seeing eye, creates a particularly potent occult signal. It is not just a hand symbol, but a calling card, an invocation, and a badge of membership in a hidden world of dominance and secrecy. Let's delve into the deeper meanings, historical significance, and global implications of this gesture and the surrounding symbols. The V gesture and its occult numerology. Numerology in the occult, understanding the letter V. The occult significance of V lies in its numerical and esoteric interpretations. 1. Hebrew gematria. In Hebrew numerology, V corresponds to the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Vav. Vav is often interpreted as the nail and is tied to the idea of binding, anchoring, or connecting. However, within the secret circles of Satanism and occultism, the nail becomes a title for Satan, who nails his power over humanity. 2. 666 connection. The V gesture's numeric value is directly tied to the infamous 666, the so-called number of the beast. This connection is reinforced through various alphabets and gematria charts. For instance, F, 6th letter, O, 15th letter, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6, X, 24th letter, 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, all reduced to 6, creating a coded 666 in the English alphabet. Similarly, V holds the sixth position in the Hebrew alphabet, tying it inherently to the same numeric signature. Thus, the V gesture is not a harmless sign of victory, but a deliberate invocation of this number, symbolizing allegiance to occult forces. In Illuminati tradition, these numbers serve not just as symbols but as active representations of their influence over the material and spiritual realms. The law of fives and the occult fulfillment of V. The history of the V sign ties back to Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati in 1776. For Weishaupt, the number 5 represented a sacred law governing humanity and the universe. Known as the law of fives, this principle reflects the idea that all things align with a cosmic structure rooted in the number 5. The V gesture, being the Roman numeral for 5, encapsulates this law. In occult traditions, the pentagram, a 5-point star, serves as a central ritualistic symbol, representing the elements earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Additionally, the pentagram is often inverted in satanic rituals to emphasize materialistic and carnal forces, symbolizing rebellion against divine order. Weishaupt incorporated the law of fives into the Illuminati's rituals and symbolism. The V gesture, as well as its extended meanings in Kabbalah and Satanism, became central to the order's public and secret messaging. Today, it's used by celebrities and politicians reflects their role as agents of this ancient system. Corporate and media use of occult numerology. Fox, the hidden 666. Corporate branding is one of the primary ways occult symbolism infiltrates everyday life. The media conglomerate Fox provides one of the most glaring examples. F equals 6, sixth letter. O equals 15, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. X equals 24, 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Together, Fox encodes the number 666. Far from being a coincidence, this deliberate choice reflects the use of numerology to embed satanic messages into the media. Furthermore, Fox's spin-off channel, FXX, doubles down on this symbolism by repeating the X to amplify the 666 message. Drake's OVO label, another example of 666 encoding. In the music industry, occult numerology is equally pervasive. Drake's record label, OVO, subtly incorporates the same 666 coding. O equals 15, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. V equals 22, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, but in Hebrew gematria, Vov equals 6. O equals 15, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Drake frequently uses owl imagery in his branding, an occult symbol tied to the Bohemian Grove, a secret society where global elites meet. The owl represents wisdom, secrecy, and hidden knowledge, all key tenets of the Illuminati. OVO's logo thus combines numerological and symbolic elements to reinforce its ties to the occult. Why corporate logos matter? These examples are far from isolated. Across industries, from technology to fast food, logos incorporate triangles, eyes, and numerological codes. Brands like Google, Starbucks, and Apple use similar methods to establish their allegiance to the global elite. For instance, Starbucks, the twin-tailed siren in its logo represents the goddess Ishtar, a figure associated with sexuality and material wealth. Google Chrome, the three concentric circles in the Chrome logo form 666. By embedding these symbols into their branding, corporations ensure that their influence reaches every corner of the globe, embedding these occult messages into the subconscious of billions. Illuminati hand gestures, the all-seeing eye and the triangle. The all-seeing eye, origins and modern use. The all-seeing eye is one of the most iconic symbols of Illuminati dominance. Depicted as an eye within a pyramid, it represents surveillance, control, and enlightenment bestowed by Lucifer. The eye signifies the Illuminati's omnipresence, while the pyramid represents their hierarchical structure of power. This symbol appears on the US dollar bill as part of the Great Seal of the United States, reinforcing the connection between Freemasonry and the founding of America. The phrasing Annuit Coeptis, he approves our undertakings, and Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages, further tie the symbol to the Illuminati's agenda for global governance. In popular culture, celebrities often mimic the all-seeing eye through hand gestures. Covering one eye, this gesture symbolizes submission to the Illuminati's will. Peering through a triangle, often referred to as the pyramid gesture, this action represents the Illuminati's hidden hand guiding human affairs. Jim Carrey's Illuminati revelation. In 2017, comedian Jim Carrey shocked audiences during his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Carrey openly mocked the Illuminati by performing the triangle hand gesture and sticking out his tongue, a move he later referred to as the all-mocking tongue. Carrey explained, "For years now, talk show hosts and people on television have been hired by the government to throw you off track, to distract you. They get out there in the woods naked in a circle and decide these things." While presented as humor, Carrey's statements carried a chilling undercurrent of truth. By mixing satire with sincerity, Carrey highlighted the Illuminati's influence while simultaneously disarming the audience's skepticism. Aleister Crowley and the Triangle. Aleister Crowley, the infamous occultist and founder of Thelema, frequently used the triangle in his rituals. Crowley described it as a gateway to higher consciousness and demonic realms. His work influenced countless secret societies, including the Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO, and Freemasonry. Crowley's writings describe the pyramid as a symbol of human ascension through Luciferian enlightenment. By emulating Crowley's hand gestures, celebrities and politicians align themselves with this philosophy, consciously or otherwise. Hollywood and sexual perversion. The casting couch, the gateway to power. The phrase casting couch has become synonymous with Hollywood's culture of exploitation. Aspiring actors and actresses are often coerced into performing sexual acts as a prerequisite for stardom. This practice not only reinforces the elite's control over the entertainment industry but also serves as a form of ritualistic submission. Madonna's 1992 sex book epitomizes this dynamic. Filled with graphic imagery, including scenes of bondage, oral sex, and occult symbolism, the book represents her initiation into Hollywood's elite. In one photo, Madonna interacts with a man wearing a Lucifer jacket, cementing the connection between sexuality, fame, and satanic worship. Twerking, feminism, and the destruction of values. Today, Hollywood continues to normalize sexual promiscuity and rebellion through hypersexualized performances. Pop stars like Miley Cyrus and Beyoncé use provocative dance moves to influence young audiences, promoting a message of sexual liberation and materialism. This agenda is not just about entertainment, it's about reshaping societal norms. By glorifying boss bitch culture and demonizing traditional gender roles, the elite create a fractured society that is easier to manipulate. Esoteric rituals in Freemasonry. Osiris Risen, the ritual of resurrection. In Freemasonry, the Egyptian god Osiris represents death, resurrection, and spiritual enlightenment. Masonic rituals often involve gestures associated with Osiris, such as crossing the arms over the chest, a sign of submission to the divine. Aleister Crowley expanded on this concept, introducing the signs of L.V.X. light, and signs of NOx, darkness, as part of his magical system. These signs are used to invoke spiritual entities and channel supernatural power. Freemasons and occultists alike use these rituals to gain influence in both the material and spiritual realms. L.V.X. signs demonstration and the analysis of the keyword INRI. The L.V.X. light, life, and love signs are central to the ritual practices of esoteric orders such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, representing a symbolic roadmap to spiritual enlightenment and the alchemical process of inner transformation. These signs, Osiris slain, Isis mourning, Apophis and Typhon, and Osiris risen, depict stages in the cycle of death, rebirth, and illumination. Mirroring the mythical journey of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the underworld and resurrection. To understand the depth of their meaning, we must also examine the keyword INRI, a mystical code that unlocks layers of symbolism tied to both alchemical and spiritual principles. The analysis of the keyword INRI. The exoteric meaning. At its surface, the acronym INRI is familiar from Christian iconography as IESV's Nazarenes Rex Deovem, Latin for Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. This phrase, inscribed above Christ's crucifixion in biblical accounts, holds significant weight in mainstream Christianity as a declaration of divine kingship. However, this surface-level understanding is only the beginning. The esoteric interpretation. In the world of occultism, INRI takes on a multitude of layered meanings, each more profound than the last. Among the most prominent is Igna Natura Renovator Integra, meaning, by fire, nature is renewed whole. This phrase underscores the transformative power of fire, a symbol of purification and enlightenment in alchemy. Alchemical symbolism. Fire is central to the process of spiritual and physical transformation. In alchemical terms, it burns away impurities, distills the essence, and renews the material or spiritual nature into a perfected state. The fire represents not only physical heat but the metaphorical fire of divine wisdom and inner struggle. Gnostic spiritual fire. This fire is seen as a force that burns through ignorance and illusion, replacing them with clarity and understanding. The Gnostic view of INRI connects it to the eternal cycle of destruction and renewal, a process essential for the attainment of the great work, magnum opus, in alchemy and spiritual enlightenment. INRI in the Golden Dawn rituals. In the Golden Dawn system, INRI is invoked with the L.V.X signs, which act as gestures to channel the spiritual energies of transformation. Chief Adept of Virgo, Isis, Mighty Mother, represents nurturing creation, the divine feminine force that sustains life and offers the promise of renewal. Second Adept, Scorpio, Apophis, Destroyer, symbolizes the destructive forces necessary for transformation. Apophis, the serpent, brings chaos and death, clearing the way for rebirth. Third Adept, Sol, Osiris, slain and risen, represents resurrection and illumination, as Osiris rises from death to eternal life, completing the alchemical process of renewal. All, Isis, Apophis, Osiris, Iao. This mantra synthesizes the process of creation, Isis, destruction, Apophis, and resurrection, Osiris, encapsulating the cyclical nature of life and enlightenment. Sign of Philosophers, Wisdom through Equilibrium. The sign of Philosophers, created by the Golden Dawn, demonstrates the practitioner's mastery over the forces of attraction and repulsion within their being. The Philosopher's grade corresponds to Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and equilibrium. Definition in the Great Work. To attain control over one's internal attractions and repulsions, symbolizing mastery over emotions, desires, and fears. Philosophers as a concept. From the Greek philosophos, lover of wisdom, this grade emphasizes balance, reflection, and intellectual devotion. It represents the culmination of intellectual pursuit and the transition to deeper spiritual understanding. Liber 185 reference. Philosophy is the equilibrium of him that is in the house of Venus. This quote signifies that true wisdom emerges from balancing opposing forces, guided by the harmony of Venus, the celestial archetype of love and unity. Sign of the goddess Oromoth's water, thelemic magic. The sign of the goddess Oromoth, often linked to the elemental representation of water, is pivotal in thelemic magic and the rituals of the Golden Dawn. Water is both nurturing and destructive, symbolizing emotional depth, intuition, and adaptability. The sign invokes the flowing, transformative power of water, aligning the practitioner with its spiritual and alchemical essence. The Greater Ritual of the Pentagram. The Greater Ritual of the Pentagram forms the cornerstone of practical magic in the Golden Dawn system. It teaches adepts how to work with elemental forces and celestial energies, using the pentagram as a universal symbol of balance and mastery over the elements. Purpose: to invoke or banish elemental energies, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. To establish equilibrium within the practitioner, aligning their microcosmic self with the macrocosmic universe. The elements in the ritual: earth, grounding, stability, and material form. Air, intellect, communication, and movement. Fire, passion, willpower, and transformation. Water, emotions, intuition, and purification. Spirit, the quintessence that unites and transcends the other four. Practical use. By tracing the pentagram in the air and charging it with specific divine names, adepts summon or dispel energies. The ritual is not merely symbolic, practitioners report heightened awareness and transformative experiences. L.V.X and the Esoteric Path. The L.V.X signs, Osiris slain, Isis mourning, Apophis and Typhon, Osiris risen, are not just gestures, they are keys to unlocking cosmic mysteries. Each sign corresponds to a phase of transformation in the alchemical process. 1. Osiris slain, the death of the ego or material self, symbolized by a cross. This is the necessary first step of surrender. 2. Isis mourning, the period of loss and reflection, represented by the swastika-like gesture. It signifies chaos, but also preparation for renewal. 3. Apophis and Typhon, the forces of destruction. The arms raised at 60-degree angles evoke the trident, showing the intensity of transformation. 4. Osiris risen, the final victory over death, symbolized by the crossing of arms over the chest in an X shape. It represents resurrection and enlightenment. Each phase corresponds to stages in personal transformation, from the dissolution of old patterns to the ultimate attainment of spiritual illumination. By exploring the L.V.X signs, INRI, and their connections to alchemy and ritual magic, we begin to uncover the intricate web of esoteric practices that underpin Western occult traditions. These symbols and gestures, steeped in ancient wisdom, offer a map for those who seek to transcend the mundane and align with the eternal cycles of creation, destruction, and renewal. Hidden within these practices lies the essence of the great work, a journey that promises spiritual enlightenment through the mastery of life's elemental forces. Osiris risen in Freemasonry, an esoteric examination. The sign of Osiris risen, central to occult traditions and secret societies, holds profound symbolic significance across various esoteric systems, including Freemasonry and its associated orders. The gesture, known for its association with resurrection, transformation, and enlightenment, is depicted in both the Golden Dawn's magical practices and Scottish Rite Freemasonry, revealing the interconnected nature of Western mystery schools. Its origins and implications reach deep into Egyptian mythology, mystical symbolism, and the philosophical underpinnings of esoteric traditions. Osiris risen in Freemasonry. Freemasonry and the symbolism of Osiris. Freemasonry, particularly the Scottish Rite, incorporates numerous symbols and rituals with roots in ancient Egypt, and Osiris, the god of death, rebirth, and the afterlife, serves as a foundational archetype. The sign of Osiris risen, in this context, represents the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth, mirroring the initiation process of Freemasonry itself, wherein the candidate symbolically dies to their old self and is reborn into a state of higher knowledge and understanding. The Scottish Rite Masonry Illustrated 6, authored by John Blanchard, provides a detailed account of the ritual practices and gestures used in the Masonic tradition, including the sign of Osiris risen. This document offers an extensive exploration of the degrees from the 4th to the 32nd, revealing how this sign is performed and its deeper allegorical meaning. The gesture in Freemasonry. The sign of Osiris risen is performed by crossing the arms over the chest, with the hands placed on the shoulders. This gesture represents a state of protection, resurrection, and union with the divine. In Freemasonry, this posture is often used to demonstrate loyalty, secrecy, and adherence to the Masonic oaths, echoing the story of Osiris, who was resurrected by Isis and became the lord of the afterlife. The crossed arms symbolize the reconstitution of Osiris's fragmented body, uniting the initiate's physical and spiritual selves in a harmonious whole. Freemasons often associate this gesture with the Master Mason degree, wherein the candidate experiences a symbolic death and resurrection as part of their journey toward enlightenment. Scottish Rite Masonry Illustrated 6 by John Blanchard. John Blanchard's seminal work, Scottish Rite Masonry Illustrated 6, The Complete Ritual of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite, is a cornerstone text for understanding the rituals, signs, and symbols of higher degree Freemasonry. The book meticulously documents the rituals of the 4th through the 32nd degrees, shedding light on the esoteric practices of Freemasonry. Detailed depictions of rituals. The text reveals the secret practices, signs, grips, and rituals used by initiates to communicate and identify themselves. Among these is the sign of Osiris risen, which is described as a demonstration of the transformative power of resurrection and enlightenment. Esoteric themes. The rituals detailed in the book focus on themes of self-purification, moral integrity, and enlightenment, aligning with the myth of Osiris as a deity who transcended death and achieved divine immortality. Freemasonry draws on this myth to convey the importance of personal transformation and the eternal quest for truth. Connection to the Bavarian Illuminati. Freemasonry's rituals, particularly those of the Scottish Rite, share symbolic parallels with the Bavarian Illuminati, a secret society with overlapping ideals and esoteric practices. The sign of Osiris risen is a shared symbol of enlightenment and allegiance, emphasizing the unity of these esoteric traditions. Osiris risen in Western occultism and pop culture. Aleister Crowley and the Golden Dawn. The sign of Osiris risen was not confined to Freemasonry, it was also a critical gesture in the Golden Dawn, an influential 19th-century magical order. Practitioners of the Golden Dawn, including Aleister Crowley, incorporated the sign into their rituals as part of the L.V.X. formula. In this context, the sign symbolized the resurrection of spiritual consciousness following the death of the ego. Crowley, often photographed in ceremonial garb with the arms crossed over his chest, emphasized the importance of this gesture as a sign of triumph over darkness and the unification of the self with cosmic forces. Prominent figures and their use of Osiris risen. The gesture of crossing arms over the chest, historically tied to esoteric and occult symbolism, has been adopted in the modern era by notable public figures, including celebrities, artists, and politicians, as a subtle nod to these ancient traditions. Some of these figures include 1. Marina Abramovic, known for her involvement in performance art with esoteric themes. Abramovic has been seen performing gestures reminiscent of Osiris risen in her work, aligning her art with themes of rebirth and transformation. 2. Elton John, frequently associated with esoteric imagery, John's connection to the symbol reinforces his persona as a figure deeply rooted in symbolic and transformative art. 3. Morgan Freeman, a well-known actor often associated with portrayals of wisdom and enlightenment, Freeman has been seen using gestures reminiscent of Masonic and occult traditions. 4. John Bon Jovi and others, numerous celebrities have performed the sign of Osiris risen in photoshoots and public appearances, sparking speculation about their ties to esoteric traditions. Osiris risen, demonstration and application. The gesture as ritual. The sign of Osiris risen is more than a simple gesture, it is a ritualized act with profound spiritual implications. By crossing the arms over the chest, the practitioner invokes the protective and transformative energies of Osiris, symbolizing their alignment with higher spiritual truths. The myth of Osiris in the gesture. Osiris's resurrection. In Egyptian mythology, Osiris was murdered by his brother Set, dismembered, and scattered across the land. His wife, Isis, gathered his remains and resurrected him through magical rites, enabling Osiris to transcend mortality and become a god of the afterlife. The crossed arms signify the reunification of his fragmented self and his ascension to divinity. Esoteric implications. For initiates in Freemasonry and other occult traditions, this gesture represents the integration of opposites, the rebirth of the self, and the attainment of divine knowledge. It echoes the alchemical principle of solving and coagulating, dissolving the ego and reassembling the true self. Influence in modern media and society. Esoteric gestures in pop culture. The sign of Osiris risen has permeated popular culture, appearing in movies, music videos, and photo shoots. This widespread use is often interpreted as a reflection of hidden esoteric messages in mainstream media. Celebrities are often photographed with their arms crossed in a manner evocative of this ancient gesture, sparking debates about their awareness or alignment with esoteric traditions. Mass ritual or hidden symbolism. Critics and conspiracy theorists argue that the widespread use of the gesture among public figures points to their participation in a larger, secretive system of belief, whether Masonic, Illuminati, or occult. While some dismiss these claims as coincidence, others see the gesture as a deliberate act of signaling allegiance to a shared esoteric tradition. The sign of Osiris risen, deeply rooted in Egyptian mythology and embraced by Freemasonry, remains a potent symbol of resurrection, transformation, and divine union. Its presence in rituals, art, and media highlights its enduring relevance as an emblem of enlightenment and transcendence, bridging ancient mysteries with the modern world. Thank you for joining me as we uncovered the hidden layers behind the V gesture, the all-seeing eye, and their connections to the occult. From its roots in numerology and secret societies to its widespread use in pop culture and corporate branding, this symbol is more than a coincidence, it's part of a larger system of influence and control. What are your thoughts on the V gesture and its hidden meanings? Have you noticed it in media or politics? Share your insights in the comments below. If this episode opened your eyes to the deeper truths around us, please click the thanks button or buy me a coffee to support Positive Vortex. And remember to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into forbidden knowledge. Together, we can decode the Matrix and uncover the truths they don't want us to see. Until next time, stay questioning, stay seeking, and never stop unveiling the hidden.